the new president to have a working majority in parliament. So they ruled that out. Their next option, which they felt was feasible, was to use brute force to try and prevent the declaration of the results of some outstanding constituencies where their own coalitions indicated that NDC had won. And to try and force a declaration in places which they consider were also weak for them to be able to penetrate. Ladies and gentlemen, as of yesterday, we mentioned the case of Upper Denchira West, where all the results had been collated. The district director and returning officer of the Electoral Commission was ready to do a declaration, and a sitting minister of state invaded the town with armed men, some in military and some in police uniform, wearing thick beard. That was the first time we were discovering that Ghana police allowed copious beard wearing. Maybe my deputy can be the next IGP. So there was a standoff between ordinary citizens determined to protect their ballot, and the declaration could not take place. The armed men led by the minister was insisting that should the returning officer declare the results, he was going to die. And this was a declaration from a minister of state. So, ladies and gentlemen, the returning officer had to be sneaked away from the constituency to Cape Coast, the regional capital, where there was a decision to bring the ballot papers and the results to Cape Coast for declaration. The good citizens of Upper Denchira West resisted any movement by 1 inch of the electoral materials. So they insisted on their grounds, and the stalemate remained till this morning. This afternoon, the Electoral Commission has eaten a humble pie. And as I speak to you, Upper Denchira West has been declared as a seat that has been won by the National Democratic Congress. In the following constituencies: Zabzugu, Takwan Suayem, and Sahioso, similar tax managed to overpower the citizens who were determined to protect their votes, and some charade of a declaration has been made without collation. And ladies and gentlemen, the rules of our elections are very, very clear. To prevent any errant electoral officer from standing anywhere to declare anything from his head, the rules are clear that after close of poll, when the pink sheets are compiled, parties are called together at a collation center. So in fact, the law provides for collation agents of political parties who must sit together around the same table with the Electoral Commission returning officer. And the reason why parties are given copies of the pink sheet is that when you come to collation and the figures for any polling station are announced for collation, each party will refer to their copy of the pink sheet and to confirm that the sheet the commission official is reading from is indeed the genuine sheet that has been compiled and certified by all players at the polling station. This is done with respect to all the polling stations. Because what happens at the collation center is an addition of results that have already been declared at the polling station. So nobody has the right or power to change anything. So all that you do by way of collation is to compare and confirm the figures, and then do the addition, and then everybody will accept the outcomes as the tally representing his or her political party. So without that important exercise of collation, any results that anybody pretends to announce will not be the results of the election that was conducted on December 7th. It will be a figment of their own imagination. And so, we are insisting that the returning officer for Zabzugu Tatale goes back to do the collation as properly required by law, and then NDC would accept whatever outcome that is arrived at. We are demanding, similarly, that the returning officer for Takwa Nsuaim goes back to go through the important exercise of collation and confirmation of the polling station results so that the totals can be acceptable by the political parties, including NDC. We are demanding that the returning officer for Sehuyoso goes back to do the important exercise of collation before results could be announced. We are treading this path, not oblivious of other legal options. But the important thing is that the courts in this country have established that the Electoral Commission cannot be stopped in the course of conducting their elections, not even by the court. And so we are still within the process of the elections, and we are demanding that the electoral officers do their duty to put this nation at ease. Because without a proper declaration, what are you taking to court to challenge? That is why we think that citizens must stand up and insist that the officers who are paid from our taxes actually do the work they are paid to do. And in the case of Savlugu, it went along the same path as Upper Denchira West. I want to use this platform to congratulate the courageous citizens of Sablugu who stood their grounds, defied the military might, and I'm told already one person has been shot dead. But they defied the odds, stood and protected their ballot. And again this afternoon, the will of the masses has eventually prevailed, and Sablugu constituency has been declared as won by the NDC. We are urging the people of Tamale, Techimai South and Sene West to emulate the examples of Upper Dinchra West and Sablugu. They should stand firmly and protect their ballots. Already, 9 people have been gone down in Techimai South. 3 declared dead, and 6 still in critical condition in the hospital. And again, bearded policemen have been set loose in the municipality of Techiman. They are roaming about, shooting sporadically and aimlessly, as if to declare Techiman municipality a war zone. We want to send strong signal to the government that these things cannot be happening on the blind side of Nana Akufo-Addo and his IGP. And let me tell you, yesterday, do you know who called me? The Inspector General of Police, James Opon-Buanu, called me. When I asked, why was he calling me? He said he was calling me because he has noticed that some people he claimed to be supporters of NDC have removed a barricade belonging to the Ghana police and have taken it to the NDC headquarters. And so he is calling me and insisting on the right of the police to enter our headquarters to retrieve a barricade, metal barricade. And I said, since this is not a video call, I don't believe that you are the Opon-Buanu IGP you claim to be. Because I knew Opon-Buanu to be a professional security man, not the type of politician who is speaking to me. And that, since when did he discover that suddenly I am the General Secretary of NDC? When they were shooting 9 people in Techiman, who are our supporters, had he forgotten that I was the General Secretary of NDC? What has he done about it? Ablekuma Central. When all these things were happening, what was he doing? And I said, I don't believe that you are the IGP. You are sounding like a vigilante leader of a political party. And that we, the people of Brown Hafo, are ashamed of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
because most of the killings are happening right in your backyard. And you have decided to abandon your profession as a security person. You have forgotten about the crown you are wearing. And you are confused about whether you should follow your conscience or follow your stomach. So he hung up.
The video is ready for the
Never to call me again. I tried calling him back this morning when another death had occurred, but he didn't pick. So, ladies and gentlemen, Techiman's staff should stand firm and protect their election results. And to put your hearts at ease, we have all the pink sheets in Techiman's house. I am told that National Security has sent operatives to now go and try and manufacture pink sheets, bribe people to sign fake documents and so on. Tell them that we have all the material we need. And let them know the same way I went to MEM to retrieve all the personal records of the thief President Kufuor was trying to appoint as a minister before they got destroyed by MPP, and for which reason I was nicknamed General Mosquito. I've done it again, and we have all the pink sheets in Techiman. And I have with us here the MP-elect for Techiman, and it's Christopher Bayere. He has won the Techiman. And then we have our capable election director for Techiman South, Abdul Hamid, otherwise called Bin Laden. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the complete list of pin sheets for Techiman South. After I take my seat, I'll call him to feed in on a few details. So, in Sene West, at the time of the elections, some thugs from MPP invaded a polling station which is known to be the stronghold of NDC. Snatched the ballot box and were running away with it. This time round, the security people apprehended them and retrieved the ballot box with its contents intact. Unfortunately, they discovered that the MPP guys have themselves torn the MPP seal by leaving the Electoral Commission seal, the official Electoral Commission seal, intact, and the NDC seal intact. Now, when it came to counting, The same MPP people who tried to steal the box in the first place now turn around to say that because the box, there was an attempt to steal the box and their seal had been broken, they are rejecting the votes in that stronghold of NDC. Meanwhile, the box was not opened. The Electoral Commission seal remains intact, and the NDC seal remained intact. So that also generated another standoff, and the box has since been brought to Techima in the Borno East Regional Capital under protection. And I want to congratulate our people in Sene West for their vigilance. They have slept at the armory where the box is being kept. And as I speak to you now, they are still there. Our insistence is that the box must be opened and counted, and the results added to the tally, and the results declared. President Mahama won in that constituency and won at that polling station. That is the reason why MPP suspects that our candidate has also won there, and they foolishly think that they can prevent that box from being counted. We are urging our people on to insist that their votes are counted. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are. Sene West yet to be declared. Techima yet to be declared. Zabzugu, Takwa, Sahuyoso, a charade of declaration without collation, which amounts to nothing. So this is the update I have for you. But I have a small letter to the press too. I personally feel very disappointed. In your role so far played as members of the Fourth Estate. In Banda, when we were single-handedly facing armed military, it took a couple of press cameras to back me, to ensure that the right things were done. How many press houses are showing what is happening in Techima? How many press houses are showing what is happening in Sene West? Why have you stopped talking about Takwa, Zabzugu, Sahuyoso, Ablekuma Central, Odododiodio, and the like? Do we still have the press we can be proud of in this country? Are you part of the problem or part of the solution? I am using your own media to call on Metro TV to come and tell her the source of the fake figures they were churning out. Let me use this opportunity to call on Joy FM to come and tell us the source of the figures they were churning out. Which of their reporters took those figures from the field? I'm calling on TV3 to redeem their image UTV, Peace FM, to redeem your image or posterity. If there is any blow up in this country, posterity will not forgive you. Ladies and gentlemen, bullets don't discriminate. I must repeat, bullets don't discriminate. So we are in this together. Let us fight to protect the democracy and prevent the country from blowing up because of somebody's greed for power and wealth. Or we have ourselves to blame. I thank you very much, and may God help and bless our homeland.
Please, can you stop the music? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot. I forgot one very important announcement. You see, the electorates show their lack of confidence in a particular government by the way they vote out the ministers in that government. Yes. This is a show of vote of no confidence in Nana Akufo-Addo's government. Yes. Look at the list of key ministers who have fallen. Professor Yanka, a minister for tertiary education and the leader for their flagship free SHS. It's gone. Alima Mahama, minister for local government, and was partly responsible for creation of new regions and making her hometown a regional capital. The people have voted against her. Professor Jambafo, the only representative of the Buzia faction in the Buzia Dankwa fraternity. The people of Wenchi have shown him the exit. I did mention some time ago that if Professor Buzia were to be alive, he will be a card-bearing NDC member. Because I'm from the same district. And I adored him. He was my father's classmate. Indeed, one of my kid brothers is called Yaubuzia. It tells you how close my father was with Professor Buzia. I am the General Secretary of NDC now. And Buzia's district has since been divided into 3 districts: Tai, Banda, and Wenchi. NDC has won all 3 seats. And has won the polling station at Akrobi, which is the birthplace of Professor Buzia. They are telling the Dankwa fraternity that enough is enough. Fisheries Minister, Afolikwe, is gone. Dr. COVID Okoboy, Anthony Cabo. He was going to be a beneficiary, not the dog factory alone, But the Nketia scandal, you remember he was listed as a beneficiary. It's gone. Titus Grover. And the Deputy Minister of Defense, Major Derek Odro. The Deputy Minister of Bron East, who gave instructions to vigilante boys to shoot and kill if it became necessary during the registration, is also gone. And the Minister for Bron East of Atebubu fame, Sanja Nanja, has shown him the exit and his back. Honorable Pemka, Deputy Attorney General, Pemka, Deputy Attorney General, has been shown the exit by a widow. So there are several of them. Navrongo, Medina, and Adenta, and all that. I thought Boabia Samoa claimed that if you don't say, excuse my word, foolish things, you can't win elections in MPP. Indeed, he lost elections in MPP, or he won the primaries in MPP, but Ghanaians have indicated that they don't want foolish things to be said by their MP in Parliament. So it's also gone. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the fire is on. The flame that has been lit. Georgianda is also gone. Many of them. And indeed, Nana Akufo-Addo is gone. And so, I want to urge Ghanaians to stand up and defend this democracy. We have the duty. I'm calling on all of us politicians to also show that the nation can take it seriously, to do the right things. Otherwise, the nation will one day reserve the right to clear all the politicians, as our history have shown, and other people will come with weapons. If we demonstrate that we politicians are more interested in weapons, those who are wielding weapons will take over and use the weapons to rule this country.